Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lucas and this is Film Factors. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I'm a high school student and I'm just starting off this channel, so it's kind of hard for me to find time to make videos. I'm going to try to make more videos in the future on a more frequent basis, but I really have to just find my way into it because I don't have a lot of free time, and the free time that I have, I usually don't have enough of it to spend towards making these types of videos. But anyway, on to the topic of the day, which is Samurai Cop 2. Actually, just a second, I'm gonna have to get... I'm thirsty. And the sponsored drink of the day is Blue Sky 0-calorie stevia-flavored cherry vanilla soda. Refreshing. Samurai Cop 2 is a movie that I was both hesitantly excited for and also just really nervous about. And the reason for that is that sequels to So Bad They're Good movies are usually not very good. And the reason they're usually not very good is because the director has basically noticed, oh, this was supposed to be bad and people liked it because it was bad, so I'm going to try to make this movie bad. I was worrying that would be the case with Samurai Cop 2 as it was with Birdemic 2 Resurrection and basically everything that Tommy Wiseau has done after The Room. However, there were a couple things that got me intrigued about this movie. First of all, Red Letter Media did an interview with the star of the original Samurai Cop and the star of this movie, Matt Hannon, who said that he was trying to give a better performance in this movie than he did in the last one. So I was like, oh, maybe they're trying to make it good? Not sure how that's going to pan out. And then second, I saw that Tommy Wiseau was in the movie, and I was like, holy crap, Tommy Wiseau, that's star power. So how is the movie? It's bad. It's really bad. I don't recommend seeing Samurai Cop 2. It's a piece of crap. Got the stuff. So this flavor with stevia, it's sort of like, the more and more you drink it, the less and less it tastes like soda. So the movie begins with Samurai Cop, our hero, and his police partner, Frank Washington, leaving the police precinct, and Samurai Cop is off on a bit of hiatus. His fiance or wife comes up to him, not the wife from the original film, I may add, but you're not supposed to think about that. They have a sort of forced romantic interchange on a park bench, and then this guy comes up and he's like,
"Officer, my sister's missing, you gotta help. I went to go get her ice cream and when I came back she was gone."
All right, kid, calm down. Where is she? Where'd you see her last?
She's got brown hair, it's tied in a ponytail, she's wearing all pink. Come on, you gotta hurry, she's by those trees over there.
The guy pulls out a gun and shoots his wife. So this scene is kind of confusing for a couple things. First of all, if Samurai Cop just got up, immediately after that, the guy pulls a gun. In the time it took him to pull a gun, wouldn't Samurai Cop be able to use his skills to just turn around and just beat up the guy and karate chop him or something? I mean, it just seems like he's right there. It's not like he's moved along or anything.
No!
So we get to the opening title sequence of this film, in which we see intercut clips of the original Samurai Cop movie. Assumingly, this was put in here so that you'd wish you were watching the original Samurai Cop instead of this very, very crappy piece of crap. We move up to an underground base, and in this underground base, we see that there is a big surprise waiting for us. The main villain from the first movie, Mr. Fujiyama, is actually still alive, and he's living with a bunch of scantily clad samurai women. As soon as we know it, Frank Washington's like, we need Samurai Cop, so he goes off and he finds Samurai Cop, who's been hiding out in the desert after the death of his wife. They fight people, and then Samurai Cop is like, no, I'm not gonna go back to the life I once had. I've abandoned violence, even though he's just killed a bunch of people. And then ultimately gives in. They get on a plane, and there's some bizarre interchanges and dialogue there. And
Thank you, sweetheart.
How about some kale chips, mister?
I'm fine.
Shut up, girls. It's not the free trade zone here.
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass if you don't shut up right now.
then we have another fight scene. These fight scenes are really horribly choreographed. They're very cheap. I think the first one sort of had the charm of sort of like the bad editing, but in this movie, there's this sort of annoying handheld aspect to it. And at the same time, there's also just this awful, the way that they edit the fight scenes in this movie are basically like, he'll like punch someone, but they won't actually show the punch. They'll just cut to after he's punched the person in slow motion. They go to this cafe, and we're introduced to a character that I don't remember from the first movie, but must have been there from someplace. Every set in this movie feels like a sitcom. It's just really bad sets.
Hannah, get out here.
Are you my daddy?
So some more stuff happens. You know, I just like rewatched clips of the movie, and I can still just barely remember what's happened in this movie. I should probably start like writing notes about these things. We cut back to the villains, and there's like another scene where they go into a nightclub and they shoot people. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Something. We are introduced to Tommy Wiseau's character. Tommy Wiseau is playing a mysterious man. You don't really know who he is. He's in some way connected to the crime mob family, but you don't really know who he is and why is he tearing up furniture. At least just like looking at Tommy Wiseau just screaming and freaking out is semi-entertaining, I guess. Yeah, it's semi-entertaining. You know, my whole perception of Tommy Wiseau has changed since I actually met him. I met Tommy Wiseau at a screening at Cinema 21 of The Room. So Samurai Cop meets up with this woman who looks remarkably like his original wife. You know why? Because she's played by the same actress. And we get a sort of weird Vertigo thing where he wants her to dye her hair blonde just like his dead wife. In fact, very Vertigo, actually. Who knows? They were inspired by Alfred Hitchcock. They're rocking on a beach and having a grand old time, and then he has like a weird dream sequence where he sees nude women playing with karate swords. By the way, a note about Samurai Cop 2. There's a lot more nudity in this film than the original Samurai Cop. And that's not really a good thing. I mean, the original Samurai Cop has nudity, but the great thing about sex scenes in the original, like, Samurai Cop and also just so bad they're good movies is that, like, they're so amazingly unsexy. And it's just kind of gross. I mean, the nudity feels very gratuitous. It feels like they're just trying to, like, fill in the running time. Samurai Cop's new girlfriend is up to some pretty random stuff. She appears with blonde hair at this place where Samurai Cop 2 is confronted by a guy selling kale chips. We see these kale chips earlier on the plane sequence. I don't know what this movie's deal with kale chips is. I guess they must have had like a deal with the kale chip company to have product placement in Samurai Cop 2. So yeah, we get two random scenes where people are promoting kale chips for no good reason. A fight scene breaks out here too that's quickly resolved. I just can't help but think that they could have tried a little harder with this movie, because I don't know what's going on. I feel like Samurai Cop 2 is both that kind of movie that they were trying to make good, but at the same time they were trying to make it bad. They just didn't know what movie they were trying to make. So when you're trying to make a movie so bad it's good, it's clearly always going to be bad. But also, if you're trying to make a movie good, but you don't have any talent assembled behind the camera to make something good, then you're going to get something bad. God. Yeah, that doesn't taste very good. So what happens next? Samurai Cop basically goes out and decides to go fight some more people, I guess. There's some sort of forced interchanges and forced references throughout this movie. Samurai Cop goes and meets a bunch of people from the original movie. I recognize them, but not everyone will. And honestly, they feel kind of forced. There's even a cameo by the guy that Samurai Cop chops off his arm in the original film, and that cameo just doesn't make sense because that character dies in the first film.
I'd give you a hand, but be well.
This movie was directed by Gregory Hatanaka, who was not involved with the original project or how they came to the decision to have him as the director. By the way, I will also say that Samurai Cop 2, the entirety of Samurai Cop 2 feels like it was shot through some sort of like Instagram filter. It's got this weird lighting that really looks bad. So finally, Samurai Cop 2 decides that he's gonna go fight the gang once and for all and defeat them, and he has a weird fight in a park that for some reason is green screened because they didn't want to use an actual set for some reason. And clearly they were purposely trying to make it somewhat surreal or incomprehensible, but I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't have to be that way. It just didn't. So, he makes his way through some sort of portal, is the best I can tell, to the underground base, which basically looks like some bizarre, just like neon lit futuristic spaceship. He incomprehensibly fights some people. He kills Fujiyama again, and basically just gets on with another weird fight scene. He fights this one lady, that one major henchman. So finally we get to the final fight, which is between Tommy Wiseau and Samurai Cop. And we learn after this long and incoherent fight scene in which Tommy Wiseau says, admittedly, some pretty funny things.
No one can stop me, but I can stop myself. But I will not stop myself, Joe.
I think it's mostly just because it's Tommy Wiseau saying them, though, so everything is just incomprehensible. You can't really understand it, but at least Tommy Wiseau's on screen. After this fight scene has happened, and after Samurai Cop 2 has struck down Tommy Wiseau, it turns out it is revealed the major plot twist that Tommy Wiseau, this barely developed character, is actually the adult, grown-up version of the kid who shot Samurai Cop's wife at the very beginning of the movie. This doesn't make any sense. In 15 years, this teenager turns from this perfectly nice-looking teenage person into Tommy Wiseau. That's unfortunate. So yeah, then the movie's over. So Samurai Cop 2, is it good? Is it worth watching? No, neither of those. It's very bad. It's not worth watching. And I'm sorry to say that because honestly, like, it should be more entertaining than it is. But it really isn't. It's just kind of a boring bummer of a movie. It's a waste of an hour and a half. It's a waste of money. I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish with it, but whatever they were trying to accomplish, they didn't accomplish it. It's not good. It's bad. And that's about all I can say about Samurai Cop 2. So I should be hopefully reviewing more new release movies in the future, and I'll try to start uploading more frequently. It's just a matter of finding the time. But I very do much appreciate new subscribers. Each new subscriber, I will send a 6-pack of 0-calorie stevia flavored Blue Sky cherry vanilla soda your way. Refreshing.